but the stuff I have had has been very, just very, as I said, very bland and ordinary.
Have you ever seen a jackfruit? You could totally bash that on the side of a building, man.
For real.
They're enormous. They're enormous things.
You really whack that open to get to the meat inside. So it's worth considering. There are sweet jackfruits.
Yeah. Sometimes, nope. I'm just going to leave it alone.
Do you want to introduce the show, Richard?
I was going to talk about jackfruit for a little bit longer, but okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of the Petty and Ill-Informed Podcast, where we venture our petty and ill-informed opinions about a variety of topics. Joining me from the Western Himalayas, Tom.
I'm not quite sure that's where I'm from, but least said best there.
And the sunny slopes of Tasmania, Nikki.
Hey.
What up, people?
What is up?
So, yeah.
How was your week, Richard?
My week was fine. Thank you for asking. For those of you who joined late, we were discussing Tom's coconut incident again before the show. And that's what led to the whole jackfruit conversation.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't even realize you were recording.
I mean, I had to. As soon as it started getting interesting, I had to hit that go live button.
Right? It was getting interesting. And then
It's good stuff. Because we were sitting there in silence for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly this lively conversation came out of nowhere. So I was like, this is gold. I'm not splooshing this.
Yeah, we've been in a weird funk. Well, I've been in a weird funk all week.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Well, I had hip injections because I'm an old lady. And
Can confirm.
They took me out for a couple of days. Not even gonna lie, I couldn't even walk really yesterday. But all is well.
Oh, you do have it tough, buddy.
Not much longer. Today's a lot better than yesterday was, and tomorrow will be even better than that. So yeah.
Oh well, we hope so.
Yep.
How about
it's
Tom?
Tom.
Sorry, what?
Nikki was asking how your week was.
Oh, mine. Oh, right. It's been absolutely hectic because we came back from holiday on Monday, and that involved a long drive of about 5 hours, broken up here and there with various stops. Back from our holiday in Yorkshire, where we'd spent 3 days at a forest holiday camp type place. Which was really nice. It felt a lot quieter and a lot calmer than Center Parcs does, for example. There's not really the emphasis on activities that there is at Center Parcs, so everyone's sort of not doing very much and chilling, which is great. Dan and I did Go Ape, and that was really something. I mean, it surprised me this. You're not actually supervised at all going round. They show you.
They just give you the equipment. Yeah.
Yeah, they at Center Parcs, you're on a rope that never detaches as you go around the whole course when you do their aerial adventure. With Go Ape, you have 2 carabiners, and you're taught very firmly from the beginning that you unclip one from one wire guide rope. You unclip one carabiner and clip it onto the next one, and then you unclip your second one and clip it onto the next one. And at no point do you have both of them unclipped at the same time. So you're always secured to their safety system. So as long as you do that, you're absolutely fine. And we of course
Go out in Greasedale.
It was really fun and seriously cool. And the zip wire, I put it on Facebook. I don't know if either of you have seen it. It's so high because you go down the side of a hill, basically, and you're above a lot of the trees. And it is absolutely amazing because of it.
I love a
Yeah.
good zip line. I've been zip
Yeah.
lining before, and I enjoy it. My nephew and I went back. I think we went in Pigeon Forge. It was awesome. Do you know how high you guys got?
No, I don't know if that's, exactly, but I know that it was high and it was impressive.
Did your son love it?
Oh yeah, we had a great time. We had an absolute blast.
That's
It was
awesome.
it was definitely awesome. A huge amount of fun, and I thoroughly recommend it.
Richard, have you been ziplining before?
I have. Like, there's a Go Ape centre down in Grisdale, and I've done it before. It's fun.
It really is something.
I went because I'm afraid of heights, which means I have to go subject myself to heights.
I mean, it
Right.
makes sense. It makes perfect sense to do that, to beat it, to not let it win.
I mean, that's kind of how I work. You know, if something scares me, most of the time I'm gung ho. Most of the time.
Most of the
Sometimes
time.
not so much.
No, sometimes you just got to avoid the pain.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly enjoyed it. It worked for us.
That's cool. Glad you had a good holiday. Sorry you had to come back to reality. That
Well,
blows.
can't stop the passage of time. So what it's been so hectic since we got back, because while we were away, we had some people come and paint our eldest son Dan's room, and then first thing Tuesday morning we had carpet fitters, and then on Tuesday I was building a set of drawers and a bed, putting that together, putting like the structure of the room back together. Then we've gradually been moving his stuff back, but we're encouraging him to be really ruthless and cull loads and loads of toot. He's got various toys that he's never even opened. And like he's got this set of five Harry Potter characters, these little figurines that he's never opened, and things like that. So it's just like, well, what's the point? Why are we keeping these things? Get rid of them, man.
They're collectibles. They'll probably be worth something someday.
You know what
they
happens?
could be.
They end up not being worth anything, and then you're stuck with a house full of it.
Well, we certainly
Yeah,
are.
but some of it does. I mean, Beanie Babies, if I'd kept a hold of them.
Oh my gosh, you would still have them in your attic somewhere and they wouldn't be worth crap.
Do you know how much Beanie Babies go for on eBay?
Not much anymore.
Like 50 pence a Beanie Baby. I could be
Ooh.
rolling in small amounts of money. But you know what I mean? Some of that stuff does become really, really worth a lot of money.
Right, and
Like
then some of the stuff like comic books is just one out of 20,000 becomes worth anything.
It's a lottery. Good. You know what? There's something that I bought at one point in my life, and if I'd have bought two of them and put it away, a mint sealed one, 20 years after its release date, a mint sealed copy of this particular game went for £1 million.
Wow, what game?
Okay, so think it was released in the late 90s.
Okay.
It was on the Nintendo 64.
Nintendo 64, late 90s.
James Bond?
No,
GoldenEye.
it's not GoldenEye 007. No.
Okay.
Maybe
Mario
more
64.
Yeah, that. Yeah, it might have been more mid-90s actually, but yeah, that.
Really?
Yeah, Mario 64, £1 million.
I had
For
a copy of that. I had
Exactly.
the gold copy as well. Damn it! That annoys me.
See,
But
it's
yeah,
all the stuff that you actually enjoy. Just enjoy it. If you collect everything that could be worth something, you're never gonna throw something away. You're gonna be a hoarder. And I'm gonna watch you on Cinnamon Toast Ken and laugh.
I mean, I do laugh at people on Cinnamon Toast Ken. Do you see that video he did on why Dateline ended?
Yes, I just got finished watching that the other night.
I knew the story. It irritates me every time. That dude that was, doing bad stuff to children, his family, because his family was rich and powerful. Yeah, he's remembered as a hero, and Chris Hansen's career was destroyed. And just like that's not fair. That's not right. He was diddling kids,
Yeah, he got caught diddling kids
and then he
Who
shot himself because he was diddling kids.
because he
Who
got
did?
caught. This I want to say, wasn't he? He was. He
District
was.
attorney or something.
Yeah, I think he was a district attorney. Yeah,
Who is this guy?
this guy on. Have you heard of To Catch a Predator?
No.
It was a show in the US, and basically they would have like a person online pretending to be like a 12, 13-year-old kid. And what they would do is they would invite these grown men. I don't know if a woman ever showed up, but most of the time it was men thinking they were talking to a child. Um, they would show up to the house. Of course, it's not really a child, it's an undercover agent. And they would come into the house, and Chris Hansen would just appear from a hallway or whatever and be like, "Hey, sit down. We want to talk to you." And they would talk to the pedophile, the person that was trying to commit such an act with a child or who they thought was a child. They would sit him down. And a lot of the times after the interview, they would let the guy go. Guy would, leave the house thinking, haha, whew, I walked out of this one scot free. And then the police would get them on their way out. And so
Yeah.
anyway, this district attorney decided that he was going to show up. He somehow got away from that, and it wasn't aired or some BS like that. He got away from the charges or something. And anyway,
No, he didn't show up to the
no,
house.
you're right. It didn't air, did it?
He didn't show up to the house, but the police had been building a case against him. So they went to arrest him, and he just shot himself in his house after saying he was sorry.
Right.
And his family were very well connected, very rich, and they just destroyed Chris Hansen's career. And I'm just like, that is bullshit.
Right? Because
I
at
love
the end of the
Dateline.
day, yeah.
Not even To Catch a Predator. There were other episodes of Dateline where they did social experiments, where they had like a guy pretend to drug a woman on a date and see if anything said anything.
Oh, they have a show that's fully based on that here. It's called like What Would You Do?
Yeah, Dateline
And-
used to do that.
Yeah, they turned it into a full show. They still have Dateline NBC. I mean, but it's not like it used to be. They have like the first 48 and things like that.
I like that show. I'm a big First 48 show.
I was watching it for the first time ever the other night. I had
Well-
never seen it. It was pretty good.
So speaking of TV shows,
Hmm.
a few years ago, Bethesda Softworks, which made such games as Skyrim and Fallout, games like that, RPGs, basically, they made Skyrim, which is one of the greatest RPGs of all time. It's pretty dated now, and they re-released it far too many times, but
Yeah, they did.
in its day, it was a fun game. And so was Oblivion and all the other Elder Scrolls games. But they teamed up with Amazon Prime and announced they were going to make a Fallout TV show.
Uh-huh.
Now,
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, Fallout is one of my favorite game series of all times. I love that. I love the lore. I love the wacky humor. I love all of the games. Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Fallout 3, Fallout Vegas, Fallout 4. I even tolerate Fallout 76 now that it's playable. I mean, you're still going to take points away for how it released.
I
But-
remember.
But the point is, I am really loved the Fallout universe. And when they announced they were going to make a TV show, I was of course filled with mortal dread. Video games never really translate well to TV and films. It's
It's known.
yeah, it never goes well. I don't care how many simps Angelina Jolie's got. Those Tomb Raider movies sucked.
They were trash.
They were trash.
Doom was terrible.
Doom was terrible.
Oh
But
gosh,
I mean,
yeah. House on the Hill, or House of the Dead. That was awful.
yeah, Blood Rain, terrible. Just it never goes well. It never goes well. So it's like,
Last of Us did well. Continue. Sorry.
yeah, okay, I was getting to that. The exception, of course, being The Last of Us, which really translated well. But the thing about The Last of Us, it wasn't really much of a video game and more sort of an interactive movie. So that's probably why it translated well. It was very story driven, and the story could be easily transmuted. But that's not to take away from what was a really, really good TV show. And The Last of Us was a really good TV show. But I was like, oh, they're making a show about Fallout. I'm going to have to watch it because I love Fallout, but it's going to suck. So this week, the Fallout TV show dropped on Amazon Prime. All 8 episodes. So I watched the first episode, and it didn't suck. I watched the next 7 episodes and was pleasantly surprised about how awesome it was.
So I need to watch it.
You do. I'll watch it again with you if you want. I did
Yeah.
enjoy it. And so basically, it follows the same logic as all the games do. You have to leave the vault to travel the wasteland because your vault needs something, or or a family member's gone missing, yada yada. That's the premise of all the games. You're a vault dweller. You got to leave the vault. Except for Fallout New Vegas, you're a courier in that. That game starts with you being shot in the head. But the other games, you start in the vault, you leave the vault, you go and explore the wasteland. And that's how the TV show goes. Vault Dweller leaves the vault and goes explores the wasteland. And it's got some... Even if you're not familiar with the existing Fallout universe, it's still a really good TV show. It's got a nice story. But if you are familiar with the Fallout universe, the Easter eggs is enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are so many references. It's great. And I loved every second of it. It was a really good TV show.
Cool. Well, yeah, I'm not familiar with Fallout. I don't know much about it. But how much does it honour the lore that you are so into?
Oh, it completely respects it. You know, the Brotherhood of Steel are technophobic zealots, like the games. The NCR are, misguided, but good
Is the feeling
intentions.
very much the same?
Yeah. The music's there. The same sort of, hopelessness, can't trust everything, but there's still a sense of humor to it.
Right. That
you
sounds great.
Yeah.
Cool.
It does pay homage to video games, but it also, creates its own identity. And I was a fan of it. And we had a strong female protagonist without, an executive telling us men suck.
Cool.
Which, is nice. Does you can do female empowerment without belittling men, apparently. So,
What?
I know. Ghostbusters Afterlife also did that really well.
I haven't seen Ghostbusters Afterlife. I'm not sure if I want to.
It's a good film.
I've heard good things about it.
You watched it with me.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one with the women as a cast.
No, that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
pile of shit.
I've seen that. That's Answer the Call. I didn't mind that. I didn't mind it.
I hated it. Do you want to know something? They released the Ghostbusters. The director of Ghostbusters 2016 said, "We don't want to be connected with the other Ghostbusters movies. We want to create our own identity, right?" But when they released the new trilogy, Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, and Ghostbusters Afterlife on DVD, the director actually sued that production company for not including them.
Oh, wow.
It's like, oh, okay, yeah. They don't want your identity that bad then.
Is that true or is that ill-informed?
Oh, it's true.
Okay.
So it's actually included now. It's just not referenced on the. They give you a code and you can download it, the 2016 version.
That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't watched the newest one that's come out. I think it's in the movie still.
Frozen Empire.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but bad things about that, so I'm not going to watch it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Aw. But Paul Rudd.
Well, I guess we can watch it then if you want to watch Paul Rudd.
I always want to watch Paul Rudd. He was on Only Murders in This Building for the last season, and I was very happy to see him. It's always nice whenever you get like surprise cameos from a show you're watching, which I've been getting from that show. We just caught up.
Oh, there's too many TV shows out there. It's impossible.
This is Martin Short and Steve Martin. Like, if you, it's just, how can you not watch it?
I can't picture Martin Short right now.
Three Amigos. He's the small one.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
the
so
short
was Steve.
one.
He's the one that isn't
Father of
Steve
the
Martin or
Bride.
Chevy Chase.
Yeah, he's the father of the bride. He was the wedding planner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was also in Saturday Night Live. I mean, they're both legends in their own right. They went on tour together, had a Netflix special, and now they've got Only Murders in This Building. Great show.
I can't believe Steve Martin's still alive, if I'm honest.
Man, that man has been winning awards, composing music. He's thriving. He's only in his 70s.
I'm pretty sure Christopher Lee was making heavy metal albums in his late 90s.
Yeah, probably.
He was ridiculously old, and he was doing these sort of grand Saruman-like vocal things to people playing heavy metal music and releasing it under his own name, I think.
Oh wow.
I'm pretty sure that's the case. I looked it up once ages ago on Amazon. Yeah. That was I can't remember where I read it, but I looked it up and I'm pretty sure that stuff is there. I haven't got anything so I can look it up on right now. Not easily. My computer has got the worst screen ever. It is smashed. It's hanging on by a thread. I've got you guys in this. Your window is taking up less than half the screen.
What has broken down your screen so badly?
Oh, it's smashed. Also, it just at one point my kid got hold of it and it just came back smashed. Well, I don't know.
The
I'll
bad
send you a
kid
pic.
or the good kid?
They are.
Wow, you can't ask him that.
You
He knows.
complete.
He knows. He knows what I mean, though. He knows which one's which.
He wishes he didn't.
You guys.
He's over there like,
Mm.
as a father, I can't confirm or deny that, but the bad one.
Well, the fact that I'm not agreeing with you speaks volumes.
Pussy.
Hey, just I was the bad kid, and I turned out just fine. Doesn't that make you feel better? Like I'm
Oh,
considered the mean one between my sister and myself. I'm the mean one.
I loved some of your stories. Didn't you push her out of a car once?
I tried to push her out of a moving car once. See, like, it's okay. Kids smash stuff.
Why are you
I
mentioning Godzilla so far? Also, Anne is an angel, to be fair. So
It is, and my nickname was Gozer the Destructor, so
definitely believe that.
yeah.
Oh, it's the. Can I just confirm the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? Now that's not a genuine brand in America, is it? I mean, it is something that was just made.
Correct. Correct. I believe that if it is one, it's because of that movie.
Not the
I
other
thought
way
it was a
around.
mascot, not a brand.
I don't recall, and maybe it's because I was raised poor and we couldn't get name brand marshmallows. I
Googled
will.
it. It is a fictional character.
Yay! I was like, I have never seen.
Stay Puft Marshmallows for sale in the store.
Yeah,
You'd have thought they'd have cashed in on that.
right. They should have.
I was once in a cake competition, and we had to make a film out of. We had to make a movie scene out of cake. And I don't know quite how I came to this, but I don't know if we were told we had to do Ghostbusters or what. I wasn't quite sure, but I chose to make this out of various cake ingredients. It was at a party. It was like an icebreaker thing at a party game, and I had to make the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. No, seriously, I had to make I remember having. I led the team in my team in making the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man trying to climb up the side of a skyscraper and being blasted down with laser beams from a cake. And no wonder people couldn't guess what one it was.
What kind of parties do you go to where the icebreaker is
The
making
wholesome kind.
an
It was
incredibly detailed cake?
That's
All right,
easy to answer. That's
welcome.
easy. It was a church party. It was a church like dinner party type thing. It was,
I said wholesome.
Welcome to my party. You'll find your ingredients. I expect at least a 3-tier cake telling a story from fairy tales in 45 minutes. Go. That's brilliant. I want to go to those kind of. Well, what did you expect, Flo? I mean, the Godzilla versus and Kong movie was crap. There haven't been a good kaiju movie since the first Godzilla, and that was passable. I mean, and even at the end of that, they were cheering Godzilla. They were like, "Yeah, Godzilla." I was like, well, "What are you doing? He just destroyed your city, you fools." Sorry, got sidetracked. Look, we should just leave the kaiju movies to the Japanese. All right, I'm just saying. Hot take: Hollywood should not be allowed certain properties.
Agreed. I would hate to see what Hollywood would do to like Bollywood movies. And I understand like there's like ones. I think Bollywood came second. Whatever. Anyway, it's just a different kind of filmmaking, and if they were to try to dip their fingers there, nope, nope, I wouldn't be able to watch it. I don't think Hollywood could be that wholesome.
I'm sure they could be if they, took a moment from raping each other.
Well, that's a difficult thing to ask, Richard.
You don't understand. Modern audiences expect the producers to all be doing that to each other.
Oh, guys, I've been doing my bit to keep us ill-informed. I was slightly wrong about Christopher Lee. He was 93 when he recorded his last stuff. 93 years old.
Wow.
You said he was in his 90s. So.
Well, I said he was almost 100, and that wasn't quite true. I'll tell you. You asked how is who was the actor? You asked how is they still alive? Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Well, one of the oldest actors still alive is Dick Van Dyke.
Is he still
Fuck
alive?
off. He's not still alive.
No.
Absolutely he is.
Have I been Mandela affected? Because I remember him dying.
Yeah, I could have sworn he died.
Nope, he was born in 1925.
Yeah, he's still alive.
He is 98.
Dang.
I can remember him dying. I've been Mandela affected.
Oh no. Yeah, I could have sworn he was dead. Maybe it's just because he is like, damn near ancient.
It's amazing though. It's great.
He's one of those actors that it's hard to pick a defining role for him. I really liked him in Diagnosis Murder. But Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, of course.
Oh, Chitty.
You're thinking... Wait.
What?
Okay, Dick Van Dyke?
Yes.
Why was I thinking Dick Clark?
Because you're insane.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, Dick Van Dyke's still alive. All right, I was thinking Dick Clark.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I thought you meant Dick Clark as well. Wink.
No, I mean, like, I'm not that competitive. I'm not going to argue over.
Clearly trying to cover yourself right now.
No, it just occurred to me because you were like, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I was like, that's not Dick Clark. That's Dick Van Dyke.
Who is Dick Clark?
He's
he's someone Nikki just made up to cover herself.
He's a TV personality in the US. He used to do the New Year's like the New Year's Eve party with the ball drop and all of that.
Okay.
In Times Square.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so he's a legitimate person, and my brain went to him, and I was like, he's way older than that. I thought, okay. And, yeah, okay, Dick Van Dyke.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm surprised he's alive too, honestly.
Well,
he was in Night at the Museum. That was the last thing I remember seeing him in.
Yeah.
Well, I'm strictly in a minority in that I do not like the film Mary Poppins.
I don't either.
Yeah, it's got an American Robin in London. That's completely messed up.
It just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Other people are more than welcome to like it if they find her wonderful. I don't. I think Michael had it right from the get-go. She was peculiar. She'd never give a straight answer, and that I found so annoying.
Who would trust their kids with some random woman that flew in on an umbrella?
It was a man.
Exactly.
Just saying. That's a man move. Oh yeah, you'll watch my kids? Cool. Here you go.
Was he in Bed Knobs and Broomsticks as well?
It rings a bell.
I don't know. Angela Lansbury was in it, correct?
It's one of those films that just
Those
No,
were
he
one
wasn't
of
in that.
Never
it
saw.
was
Never
one of
got
my
into.
favorites
Yeah, I
when I
loved
was
bed
growing
knobs and
up.
broomsticks when I was a kid.
I haven't
No,
watched
I
it since I've been
no,
an
I really
adult.
didn't.
You didn't
Oh
like
God,
bed knobs and broomsticks. What's wrong with you?
I don't. A lot clearly. No, I just don't remember it. I don't remember it at all.
We should all watch it together now that we're adults. See how it holds up.
Oh, that reminds me actually of something from childhood. I was going to tell you about this. I think two weeks ago. But it got anyway. Uh, do you guys know the song "Puff the Magic Dragon"?
Yeah, it's about weed.
No, it's not.
It is about weed.
It's about the loss of
Drugs.
childhood innocence and growing up and stuff like that.
It's about
We're
drugs.
doing drugs.
Well. Anyway, I'm choosing. Anyway, I chose to take it at face value, and I.
Wait. What's Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds about, Tom?
Well, yeah, okay. So that one really is about LSD. Well, I would imagine so. Or it's probably, I don't know. Was it written while they were tripping off their heads?
Probably.
Yeah.
I know Yellow
Well,
Submarine was definitely written when they were tripping off their heads.
It has to be for it to make any sense, which it doesn't. So it's just a very catchy tune that kids love. So when, as I said, we were doing Dan's room, and I found this piece of paper, and I opened it up, and it was something I'd written probably about 8 or 9 years ago. There's this one pitiful evening when I started singing Puff the Magic Dragon to Daniel. And then when it gets to the sad ending that little Jackie Paper doesn't want to play with him anymore and he crawls back into his cave, Dan started crying and he really set me off and I started crying and Hannah came in just to find us both howling like babies. As if we were both the kids. And I had to get out this pen and paper. I had to write out a whole extra, like an extra set of verses to give the thing a happy ending. And I wrote that. And Dan's and I made a new friend turned up for Puff called Dave. And Dave managed to cheer him up a bit. And then Dan said, I want the first little boys to join in and for them all to play together. So I had to keep on writing and write bloody little Jackie Paper, Dave and the dragon all having fun together. And I wrote this bloody...
You just undermined the whole point of the song.
I know, it's heresy of me. But I found this and I was going to read it last week. No, 2 weeks ago. But then... I had to leave the podcast early, if I remember rightly. I was only doing it from the car outside of Premier Inn. But the trouble is, I've lost the paper. What happened was the next day, I had it in the side pocket of these army trousers, the same ones I'm wearing now, funnily enough, and. I went on a ride at a theme park, this log flume thing, and it was the wettest, soggiest thing I've ever been on in my life, and it just soaked my trousers. But I found this thing later, all the ink had run everywhere, and you could barely read a word. And
probably for the best.
Well, yes, quite.
I mean, that's the opposite of the point of the song.
Well, yeah, I know. But
you've got to be like, yeah. Like, Jackie doesn't care about dragons anymore, Dan. He wants to go off and find girls and stuff.
Well, Dan wasn't quite ready for the harshness of that message, I fear.
Or even, he's done with weed now. It's time for harder drugs. Oh, God, what are you like, man? Well, we all know perfectly well what Richard's like. So you can probably hear these weird sounds that I'm making. Can you hear me sort of rustling paper and stuff, or is it quiet enough?
No, we can hear you.
Oh, you can. I'm making things for school.
Fair enough. Tom, you're what I
making-
call a decent human being.
Okay, I try to be.
Oh, you what? You know, apart from the weird attention-seeking coconut thing, you're a pretty cool person.
Okay, thanks. Where's this going?
So, you know that that philosophers have debated for about 3,000 years what the correct way to live your life is.
Yes.
Which were so there's four basic, what you call it?
Modus operandi, something like that.
Yeah, philosophies, I guess. Four basic philosophies for living, your best life. And I was wondering which one you subscribe to.
Okay.
Virtue ethics, the idea that we're all born with innate virtues and we should try and live up to those and our own moral compass.
Yeah.
Consequentialism, the idea that something good you do is balanced by something bad you do and how much good and versus how much pain and suffering, basically karma.
Okay.
Deuteronomy, the idea that society has a set group of rules where, each human has to follow that rules in order for society to function and live a decent life.
Okay.
Which of those do you think is the best way of doing it?
Well, the fourth would flow from the first. I'm no expert on all this, but I see the fourth and the first as being equally valid and kind of going hand in hand.
I haven't mentioned the fourth yet. I've only told you three.
Oh,
We'll get to the fourth in a bit.
okay. Well, I did think I thought I'd just missed one, and I just put it down to my own stupidity.
A fair assumption.
Yeah. Right. So now, see, I can actually remember the first three. So the first one was about kind of advocating altruism. The good you do balancing. No, that was karma. Was the good balancing the bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the second one. That's consequentialism.
Yeah. Well, that I don't know. For that to work, it almost requires some sort of almighty spiritual force like balance of scales or something, light and dark almost, anyway. So what was the first one? What is
virtue ethics?
Virtue
the
ethics.
idea that we're
you find your own moral compass
and
try and do the right thing.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't that kind of generally lead to what was the third one?
Deuteronomy, the idea that society is born with innate rules that we all must follow in order for society and humanity to flourish.
Yeah, and those rules are about being good and being kind, and they stem from a moral compass. So,
it's philosophy. There's no right answer.
Well, for me, it's kind of the first and a bit of the third. I mean, if there's a fourth, the thing you haven't.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to go in for the fourth option.
It's basically selfishness. It's survival of the fittest.
What, the fourth option? The fourth option is nihilism. Nothing we do matters because we're all going to die somewhere sometime, so you might as well do whatever you want.
Sometimes that's how I feel.
I'm very familiar with nihilism. Nihil meaning nothing. Like
I think you'll find it's a river in Egypt, but okay.
Is as in, from annihilate to turn to nothing. That sort of nihil, Nihil, not Nile, you bozo.
I'm just saying, it's an option. Nihilism is an option.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I struggle to look at life with the same way that the hologram looks at the crew of Red Dwarf. Nothing of value or interest. No, it's I actually, it's a nice day for you to ask me that. I had a really nice time this afternoon. doing very little. All I did was I got on my bike and I rode down to Whitstable seafront and the town centre, and took a couple of videos for Nikki and a couple of others. Just because I don't know if I've ever shown you Whitstable town centre. It really is a properly picturesque English seaside town. I'm very lucky to live here. And then bundled around all the charity shops. There's a lovely second-hand record shop there, and they only take cash. I bought a CD copy of Dirt by Alice in Chains. The guy gave me £1 off for being a regular, which is very nice of him.
That was
Right.
pretty
Nice.
cool.
Yeah. Oh, I did it, and it was just really, really nice just to stop and actually appreciate how lucky we are, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Speaking of how lucky we are, I read a worrying article today saying that Ukraine might lose this war. The stalemate can only go. Russia can sustain a stalemate a lot better than Ukraine, basically.
Well, I don't know.
I hope not, but my God. What don't you know, Richard?
I don't know. I mean, if Putin conquers Ukraine, that'll probably mean World War III.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that nobody's going to be a fan of that plan.
I think if, oh my God, I mean, if they wanted to really be stopping it, the time for that has been and gone.
Well, nobody wants another world war. I mean, Russia's not going to back down. And the stakes are pretty high now because everyone's got nuclear weapons. We were talking about fallout earlier. I mean, that could be the bloody future. Nuclear annihilation.
Could be, but I hope not.
Weren't we talking about something else? No, I don't know.
I was just talking about what a beautiful day out I was having in Whitstable. And then I thought, because that's what some people have as their everyday lives, is this turmoil and death and pain. Ugh.
I don't know. I live in a touristy area and it's not fun in the summer.
No.
Boo-hoo. I used to live in Florida.
That's not fun any time of the year.
Central Florida. Yeah, but tourist season's all year round when you live in Florida. And during the summer, hoodlums everywhere. Going to Disney.
I mean, hoodlums are the least of your problems in Florida, to be fair. I mean,
You got Florida man, Florida woman.
snort a rail off a dolphin while naked in a golfin. Chances are you won't be the first.
What a great show.
I do miss it.
I don't know what show that is.
Big Mouth.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's really good. Yeah. It's
Netflix's longest running TV show. Original series.
And then is it canceled now, or they got one more season?
Yeah, they've got one more season and then it's over.
I've been watching something called Whitstable Pearl. It's been filmed.
Oh, that's that procedural, isn't it? With the woman that helps the detective, the strangely hot woman.
What, the one who's so unsexy she is?
Yeah, I don't know what else to explain. She doesn't look attractive, but I'll do her. I don't get it.
So she has a vagina, is what you're saying.
No, like I have standards. Thank you.
Okay.
I'd have to send you a picture of her, Nikki, because just so you could understand what I mean. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to find a picture and send.
I can see. I'm not sure I agree, but I can totally see what you mean. I mean, I know what it's like for someone to not be attractive, but you'd think or to look at. But or you don't think you find them attractive, but then somehow you're kind of like, hang on, wait a minute, there's something interesting about this person and their
Yeah,
face.
that's what I'm talking about. She
Yeah,
isn't
there
like
is- yeah.
attractive, but
That
Like a pug
little
where they're so
something.
ugly they're cute.
Mhm,
I mean, she's not an uggo,
possibly.
but she's not like hot. Yeah, I got a picture.
She's just looks perfectly ordinary and normal, everyday, lovely lady. Absolutely. Oh, guys, I know. I was going to ask you guys something. Fucking hell.
Hold on a minute, Tom. Let
All
Nikki
right.
see the picture. Yeah. Do you see what we're saying?
She's okay. I guess I could see.
Yeah.
She
Sorry,
must have
okay.
grizz.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's not hot, right? But
Right. So she
still-
must have
still-
charisma.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's got something. Right. So, what I was going to say was, I was talking to Gabby over the past little while, and she came up with a grand, impeccable theory as to why it is I am the way I am and afflicted with the problems that I am. It's all because of what I do when I'm sat on the toilet. Now, all I
Cry?
do is I read articles from The Week magazine, or I message my friends on my phone, and apparently that explains everything, says Gabby.
Okay, you didn't have to preempt that with this is a Gabby theory. If you just explained the theory and said someone I talked to suggested this, I would have instantly known where that came from. Just,
Same.
Wait,
Just
but I was like, there's no one else that could have come from.
I mean, there was no sense of irony, no doubt whatsoever. Total certainty. There, nailed it. That's it, Tom. That's you sorted. That's your problem.
I would have
That's
just been
everything
like trauma.
that's everything that's wrong with you. I mean, I
You were
have no
publicly
idea.
embarrassed at some point.
I've no idea what I'm supposed to be doing when I'm sat on the toilet when I'm doing those things. I mean, I've no idea what exactly that.
Generally
points to or
speaking,
so well.
if it helps, Tom, when I'm sitting on the toilet, I'm generally going to the toilet. I don't know if that's useful information.
Yeah, well, I'm doing that as well. I'm multitasking.
I don't know. I've never been one of those people that looks at my phone or anything when I'm on the toilet. I just go to the toilet.
Very seldom, unless I'm just hiding out. Like if I'm at work and I need 2 minutes to gather myself. But for the most part, yeah, me neither. I just get my business done and I get out. That's basically my approach to everything, though.
Yeah, I can't. I don't see the point in sitting on the toilet and reading stuff. Just
Now-
focus on what you're doing.
I do read the things around me. Like I can pretty much there's like this Clorox orange sanitary spray whatever at work, and I can pretty much tell you what the bottle says. But it's just because I naturally am going to read everything that's around me. Just like if there's music playing in the background, it could be like that instrumental music of pop or whatever. I'm going to notice the music in the background, regardless of how noisy it is around me. I'm just going to notice.
And why not?
So,
Go for it.
I think that's a natural stopping point for this. We're on bathroom habits. I think the conversation has died. That'll wrap us up for this week. We will return next week, despite the hopes of many. It's good night from me, and it's good night from them. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. Bye.